Hey, this is kind of breaking news, so I thought I'd post this video. Um, I've talked a lot about viruses that they're created, and that's why we have the need for vaccines. It's problem solution kind of deal. Um, a lot of the reasons that we get sick have well, every reason we get sick has a cause. There's something that causes you. And it's all the way down the lines. Like a virus is caused by something. What causes a virus that makes you sick? What created that virus? And it's a mixture of different particles. Something is mixing particles together that form a virus. And I am suspecting that it's man-made viruses, and they generally start, in Asia and travel around. So, why do certain viruses tend to start up in only one specific area? It's because they're created in that specific area and then they move around. Now, the good news, I just heard that there's a virus that's been created and it's already been released. It's been out for a little bit of time now. And it is kind of a slow moving thing, but it's in the air and there's no stopping this virus. I was told of how this virus works to check out this one video, which I'll put a link below. And it deals with products, brand names. And if you get into the video, it does show you how they're studying the brain and how the brain reacts to certain stimuli. And what happens is when you're stimulated with something, your body's actually making a chemical. And that chemical are peptides and proteins that get attached to your DNA. So they found the greed gene, and this virus will attack anybody that's holding this greed gene. So I suspect we're going to start seeing these really, really wealthy people start getting sick fairly soon. It's going to affect like if they have a genetic history of heart problems, then this will increase their being susceptible to that heart attack. So I mean, you can have a genetic disposition to get the same illnesses as your past. While this virus works in a way where it makes it more susceptible instead of less. So um, anybody that's got the greed gene expect to get sick, and you'll probably look at your genetics and find out what you're gonna get sick from. If you have a family history of cancer, trust within a very short period of time they're probably going to get cancer. I suspect most will be heart problems. Well, the wealthy are going to be getting a lot of heart issues in the next 2 years. If this is all true and there is this virus that's out in the world, it can attach itself. They've made this virus attach itself to that very chemical that creates that greed sensation. So it's I wouldn't go after the money. I wouldn't do anything for money. Unless you want to cure that virus that's out there. What's the antidote? Um, don't know whether anybody's got that one or not, but I would suspect the only way to be safe is don't do anything for money. Yes, you need to pay your rent, but I would value your life energy that you put out into the world, value your worth. And it is about giving your worth away. And if everybody on the planet was giving their worth away, things would get done. Because, first of all, we need farmers. There's a lot of farmers that want to farm but can't farm because of these greedy people. But as soon as they die off, then all of this land is going to be available for farmers to farm. Um, it's time to get back to nature and back to your living purpose. Everybody on this planet has a purpose. It's time to become aware of what that is and live in it, because not one human being on this planet is born with that greed gene. Um, the greed gene is something that is taught to us from the day we were born. You have to actually be very, very disciplined to create this greed gene. And they started off as soon as your kids are watching TV or they're interacting with society in any way, shape, or form, you are being programmed to develop that greed gene. And I know that society has more of an effect on us because, for one, when I start having kids, there's no way I wanted my kids playing with guns. When my first child was 3 years old, he started shooting me with a banana, and I didn't even have the TV on all that much. So where did this kid learn how to even have a gun in his hand and shoot at 3 years old? It was the friends on the block that were playing this game that he, in order to be included in playing with the friends, he had to play the same game as them. So it didn't matter as a parent what rules I set out. In order for your kids to fit in, you got to fit within the rules of society. And they are more powerful than you alone in your family. So that's the fighting battle that we've got is, you can do whatever changes you want to do in your own life, but if society doesn't change, it's futile. So that's why it's kind of very important that on a global basis, we all gain more information on how to transform problems into solutions. If we all were aware that the world is round, well, it's not exactly round, it's dynamic. That's the shift that we got to perceive our world a little different, going from flat to round to dynamic. But it's got to be a global thing that sees the dynamics of it. This is not a solution. Getting rid of the greed gene is not really if all of society is being brainwashed to be greedy from the day you're born, and this gene this virus attaches it to exactly what you've been developing, it's got potential to wipe out the whole friggin' planet. Which, there's the guidestones: make sure the population is lowered, get rid of all the greedy people, and we'll get that number down to where it's supposed to be, so we're sustainable, I guess. I don't know where it's coming from. All I heard was, this is the rumor that's out there, and I was told to give a little bit of warning out there for anybody that's got that greed thing. Check your bank account. If you don't think you're greedy, check the size of your house and compare it with a third world country. Check your bank account and compare that level with anybody in a third world country, and you'll see your greed. For me, I still even see myself fitting within that. It's kind of scary because I still need to feed my family. Well, I am the family because my kids are growing up, but I still have to, pay my bills. So I do have to go out and earn some money, but I'm working as hard as I can, not to earn profits for me, but to find ways that profits are equally shared with as many people as possible. I'm trying what I can do to get over that greed gene, seeing if I fit within it. So there's some hope for the future. We'll go and see some greedy people get some heart attacks and cancers and, I think heart problems, major heart problems within the elite. But whatever they're susceptible to, I guess it's going to be increased. I'd be watching your health more than anything. If you're overweight, underweight, or don't think, it's going to be an interesting few years, but life will find a way, and it'll be a non-issue. We'll think, oh, all this big bad shit, nothing really happened. It's because change is going to be so gradual you won't even notice it happen. Just like the 2000, where we thought the world was going to end because it went up to 2000 from 1999. The world didn't end, and everybody thought it was a non-issue, but it was only a non-issue because all systems were transformed to handle the changing date. So it doesn't mean that it wasn't a non-issue. It would have been a massive issue if we did nothing. So 2012 is take a look around you. Everything's crashing apart. I mean, it's this. Japan is just one example of how the world, the whole freaking planet's going to be destroyed. 2012 is a reality, but it's only one potential. There is another potential, and that is that we transform all problems into solutions on a global basis. And I personally think that will be done. And I keep seeing signs all the time, like this virus. I am accepting that in order for people to sort of realize the world isn't round, it's more dynamic, a lot of people are going to die because you're so stuck in what you believe, and you're going to do something that's going to end up killing you. And when it hits your backyard, that's when you wake up. You won't trust other people to say, hey, something's a little wrong. Most people that have this illness won't recognize that there's any problems in the world. Why? Because they're greedy and attached to all of their stuff. But that's how you generally find out about problems. Look at people in Japan. It's not like we didn't know about nuclear energy being, really damaging. And we're seeing all of these catastrophes. We knew that that was going to take off, but people in Japan wanted all of their nuclear plants, so now they're paying the price because they didn't want to listen to people that gave out warnings. Now, how many other nuclear plants are all over the planet? Nobody is shutting them down. Why? Because it has to have a major accident in your backyard before you start, oh, there's a little bit of a problem. Only when you need help do you recognize there's a problem. But if everybody else needed help and you're in your glory with all your stuff, you don't even notice people are complaining because you don't need the help. Which is the biggest shock of this human experience, is when you need help and ask for it, nobody's out there giving you a hand. And yet these are from people, from my personal experience, they were paid to help. Some of these were churches, Christians, you name it. The people that you would trust to help you out are the ones that would cause you the most pain, from my experience. And I've seen that my experience is quite common. And a lot of people on a global basis are starting to wake up to that reality as well. So it is the golden rule. Unless you are needing help, you will never see that anybody else needs help. So, and then while you're in a lot of problems, everybody else has a lot of problems. Who the hell is able to help? If everybody's focused on trying to solve their own individual problem, and they're all individually wanting everybody else on the planet to help solve their problem, no problems are getting solved because nobody has any time to solve your problems. They're too busy solving their own problems, which that's the key. Solve your own issue. If everybody learned some magical tools of how to transform a problem into a solution, we'd see global change. So anyways, might want to check out that link. It'll show you that these people that are selling you products are doing some heavy research on the brain and making you programmed, deeply programmed to buy their product. It's completely out of your control whether you buy something or not. It's that scientific. But the good guys are on the other side, and they know how to handle it too. What you can build to destroy, you can build to create. And apparently there's some hidden underground scientists busy at work solving some major problems that we aren't aware of. And it's got to be secret, I guess. So I can't even reveal the source that I got that from. Peace out.